Hi guys and girls, this is a long plane review for El Capitan Trueno on the Amstrad CPC, released by Dinamic Software in 1989. And this was only released in Spain, and this may well be the best commercially released Spanish game on the Amstrad I have ever played. I really enjoyed this one. Now, El Capitan Trueno was the hero in a long line of Spanish comic books, starting in 1956 and up to 1968, and he soon became Spain's most popular hero comic of all time. Now, the name El Capitan Trueno translates from Spanish to English as Captain Thunder. He has two companions, which we will also see and use in the game: Crispin, who is young and agile, and Goliath, a huge beast of a man. And Trueno's love is Sigrid, a Viking princess, who we are also rescuing in this game. There was also a film adaptation released in 2011, and weirdly it was renamed Prince Kilian and the Holy Grail for the DVD apparently, and has English subtitles. From what I can gather, the reviews were not great for this. Anyway, let's start the game up. So, Captain Thunder, let's just call it that from now on for us English-speaking folk. It's a relatively short game, but split over two different parts. At the end of part one, you get a password to use in part two to give you more than one life. But, well, obviously starting with part one here, and a very nice loading picture there in mode one of the captain himself there. There he is, Mr. Thunder. And here we are on the title screen. Sadly, no music and pretty bare bones presentation in between gameplay action. We're going to redefine our keys here. So arriba is up, abajo is down, izquierda is left, and derecha is right. Golpe is fire, Capitan right. And you can Crispin and Goliath, the three keys there for three different characters. As you'll see in the game, you can switch between characters dynamically at any point during the action, and it's a really cool and nice feature. So we're going to start things off straight away here. And unfortunately, guys, the first, I don't know, few minutes of this gameplay may be a little bit boring because I'm farming coins here. So every screen has a set number of enemies that when you kill will spawn some coins, and we're going to need those coins for later on in the game, specifically to buy upgraded weapons for the final boss of this first part. So just bear with me, because I did say at the start of the video, this may well be my favourite and most impressive Spanish game I've seen on the Amstrad, at least released in its commercial heyday. Before the Amstrad's demise in 1993 or 94 or whatever. And I came across this game, I believe, on one of my Am streams, which is my weekly live stream on a Friday evening, I think from a request, and I was blown away by this. I was like, wow, this looks fantastic. It moves really nicely. And I love the ability to switch between the different characters. And you'll see me do that in the next minute or so, okay? And I thought I'd come back to this game. I think we did a whole Twitch stream as well on my Twitch channel of me going through the game from start to finish. And it's not actually that hard to beat. It's actually relatively short. You could probably blast through the game without farming coins as I'm doing here. But it would make your task a lot harder. But yeah, as you can see, we've got some really lovely colourful graphics, and the sprites move about at a decent frame rate. It's not like 25 frames per second, certainly not 50, but it's probably close to 25 and more than acceptable. It is single screen, but part two, which is probably the best part of the game in terms of action, so stick with the video, guys and girls, does scroll, and it does actually scroll quite nicely. So you want to stick around and check that out. It's nice that it's kind of interesting. We've got like sort of foreground objects that you can run behind. That's a nice touch. But I think there's a really lovely use of colours here, especially with like the purples and blues. The Amstrad colour palette has really nice different blues and purples to use here. And the colours there, especially on the castle background there, have all been blended together very nicely. It's just a shame that we don't have any music in game, but the sound effects are pretty good so far and do the job quite nicely. Sword noises, the coins bouncing on the floor there, and a nice little jingle there when you kill an enemy. So you'll see at the bottom there, there's 3 different characters. We're playing as Captain Thunder, of course, at the moment. There's Goliath in the middle, and then there's Crispin. Now, Crispin is a lot more agile and can jump really high. So we can't reach this. There's like a little red switch there above our heads, which the captain can't reach, but Crispin can. So you switch to Crispin to not the switch, and then switch back to the captain for the main bit of the action. So it's also a kind of a little puzzle element to this game, which will get a little bit more tricky as we progress through the level, but not so much that it's kind of a tough puzzle to sort out. You'll see. And obviously we need to use Crispin here to climb on the rope. Unfortunately, the poor Captain Thunder, he can't actually climb ropes. Neither can Goliath. Goliath we'll use later in the level, but he's like the least used character you'll find yourself using in the game. Now, I think we're inside a chapel here. Now, I don't know the actual backstory here for this game. I have found the manual in Spanish, but only sort of scanned in, so I'm not typing it all out and running it through Google Translate. Needless to say that you are the Captain Thunder, plenty of daring do. He's kind of a Robin Hood type guy as well. You know, he looks after the poor, and he looks out for injustice around Spain and around the world, and sorts it out wherever he goes. So yeah, obviously this is the bad guy's castle or temple or whatever. There's monsters later on. Oh, I've just paused the game there because you notice I've got like 9,000 plus coins. I'm going to use I'm going to pay for a red vial there that restores our energy. So our energy is represented by the red vial at the top of the screen there. It says 99. To the left is like a shield symbol and number 5. That is the number of lives you have for this level. Next, and then to the right, with the lightning bolt is of course your score. And then finally to the right is the gold coins. And you can only carry a maximum of 9,999. I'm taking a couple of hits there, which is rather annoying. So I'll just use a load to restore my energy. Perhaps I should have saved it till I was like really super low. Oh well. So this, literally after this screen, I think maybe the next screen, we will stop farming coins and just get on with beating the rest of this first section. But yeah, we're in must be in some kind of bad guys. It does look like a church or something like that. And below the church, in the catacombs, lies evil skeletons and all that kind of stuff. So there's a kind of a supernatural element, I think, to the comics and this game. We have to make our way all the way through. And then on part 2, we are rescuing our fair maiden Sigrid, the Viking warrior princess or whatever. We might as well use some of our coins there for us to replenish our energy, because we'll have more as we go along here. And so yeah, it's just rescue the princess essentially. That's the story. Right, okay, we're finally coming out of the chapel or church or cathedral or whatever. We've now got these horrible sort of spidery type creatures that now take 2 hits to kill. And it's nice of kind of like running behind bits of the castle wall there, although it perhaps does obscure a little bit too much my liking. But this section looks really lovely with the bluey purpley sky and the castle wall there. Really nice use of colours again. Simple sound effects, just again shame there's no music in the game. So this also appeared on the ZX Spectrum and the MSX. The ZX Spectrum version is not in monochrome, actually, for once. It actually uses a few colours, so it looks quite nice for the Specky, although we do get colour clashing. The character selection at the bottom of the screen just shows the one character you are currently controlling. So it doesn't have all three on screen with a nice transition between them when selecting them, like on the Amstrad CPC. And the sound effects aren't as good because it's using the Spectrum's inbuilt beeper. Otherwise, it's pretty identical to the Amstrad version, but the Amstrad wins here with the superior graphics and sound. Change the Crispin here to ring the bell, but you have to climb up the bell rope. And that's the bell wrong, and that will open the door that we just passed a couple of screens back. This also appeared on the MSX, and basically is a more pastely coloured ZX Spectrum port, but with the CPC sound effects. So for once, the MSX, even though it's a specky port, actually runs about the same as the Spectrum version and is as good, if not maybe better, because of the improved sound effects. But the Amstrad is the winner overall out of the three versions, most definitely. Okay, so we're in the latter half of this first part as we climb down into the catacombs. There's a bit of rock there blocking our way. So what we need to do is, using Crispin here, as long as you don't move on the rope, when the rats are either side of you, they won't leap across and nibble at you. So that's why I'm stopping and starting here and there. And we need to go right here and collect a diamond. This diamond will open up the passage that was just above. And then we're going to place the diamond on something. So there's the diamond. Just run into it to collect it. And then go straight back up and then to the right. And place the diamond on the plinth and escape very quickly. You'll see in just a second. That passage to the left leads sort of to a dead end, but shows us there's a special weapon or sword to pick up from a later area you can access. Here it is. So you'll be really quickly to jump on there and move out the way, because there's a diamond on there, because these rocks come crashing down and you've got to escape very quickly. So if you haven't played this game before, you won't know that there's that rocks that come down and trap you, and basically you have to suicide yourself. But the game does restart you from an earlier point, so you're not soft locked forever, and you don't have to reset the Amstrad or whatever. Or kill yourself multiple times to start over. Nice animation there on the rats. The rats look pretty good actually for a sprite. And now this section is revealed to us, but we can only go left here. Once we complete this bit here, coming up, we will collect a magical sword or dagger or whatever. Might as well use that there. The bit below the rope there, where it's like, again, rocks in the way, it will disappear, and we can go even further into the dungeon or catacombs or whatever. But it kind of looks like a wine cellar here at the moment. So we're just collecting a few more coins, because once we collect the weapon, which is just above us, in sections above, we can upgrade that weapon. And that is why we need all the coins, because it takes about 2,000 coins to upgrade it. You can upgrade it 3 times. This is where we actually can use the other character, Goliath, because these rocks are in the way. You change to him and he can punch and destroy the rocks. When you're actually selected as Goliath, you cannot actually move at all. You are rooted to the spot. So sadly, apart from his ground stomp there, as you can see there, which will kill all enemies on the screen, he's a bit useless, unfortunately. Especially, you want to use his stronger punch attacks on bigger enemies. Sorry, my apologies. He's just motionless. So if they're moving around and chucking projectiles at you, you're a sitting duck, basically. And oops, I made a bit of a mistake there. So we'll just carry on. Energy's down at 61. I'm going to move quite quickly here because the skeleton gets up. Just leave him be, because we'll come back and kill him in a second anyway. Oh, not quite close enough there. Oh, the skeleton actually jumps on us. I love skeletons that come alive in games. It takes me back to Ray Harryhausen movies and Jason and the Argonauts. Skellybobs are always cool in games. Anyway, there's the sword in the stone, or pyramid or pile of manure. Who knows? I don't quite know what that is. But now we can actually select the upgrades there. Actually, you can only upgrade it twice. My apologies. Sorry. And you'll see. This is the pause menu, by the way. So you can pause at any time and spend the coins. And now you've got 3 daggers that shoot out and spread out like that. Very, very cool weapon. And this is going to get us through the game very nicely now. So it was worth kind of farming all those coins there. And sorry for the boring gameplay at the start of this, but it was kind of necessary, unless we were trying to speedrun it. So there we go. So there'll be now another new section opened up for us to the right and down. And as we work our way towards it, I'll tell you a little bit about the coders behind the game. So the main programmer and coder was a guy called Javier Bravo Palacios. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. But sadly, he has no other credits for any other Amstrad games. It's a shame because obviously he's extremely talented coder. The sound effects was done by Pablo Ariza, who also did the sound for Astro Marine Corps, Mega Phoenix, and Rescue from Atlantis, all great games. The graphics here in part 1 was done by Raul Ortega. Again, no other Amstrad games listed for him that we can find. And Luis Rodriguez, who also did the graphics for Abu Simbel Profanation, Camelot Warriors, Dustin, Freddie Hardest, and Sir Grism. All of them great looking games, actually, so a very talented graphics artist. The part 2 graphics was done by a guy called Raul Lopez, who was known for doing Bestial Warrior, Commando Tracer, and Hundra on the Amstrad. Again, all 3 great looking games. So this section here to the left is pretty much a dead end. There's nothing to find here, just a skeleton to kill for some coins, and just a check to turn into Goliath here. And yeah, can't punch through that wall. So it's lovely how you saw there on that one screen how we transitioned between 3 different characters. I love how the game does that on the fly. You know, it doesn't take you to a character select screen and then you have to it sort of disappears and reappears. It literally happens live within the game as you press a key, and there's a really nice transition effect both on the main sprite and also on the heads at the bottom of the screen there. So lots of points for that there in my book. We're coming to a slightly different section now where we'll be jumping across looks like boiling lava. Not quite sure what that is, but if those bubbles reach the top, they actually spawn some kind of winged dragon type creature. And it's just best probably just throw a few swords and daggers and then just leg it across. Make sure you've got at least 3,000 coins to replenish your energy. You probably will take the odd hit or 2 here and there. You don't need to change to Crispin to jump across here. And we'll just quickly refill our energy there as we're quite low. It should be the last one to jump over anyway. And after in this next screen will be the boss battle. Okay, so change to Goliath here and then punch through the wall. Oh! His head appears briefly there. Just running back out the way just in case. And here we go, the boss battle. Some kind of Minotaur type creature? I don't know. It's got like a human body, but the head of a demonic goat. Not quite a Minotaur, but something similar to that. And just got to jump and hit his head. And if you've powered up your weapon twice there, the one you found stuck in the stone, well then, you should make pretty short work of that boss. But it's an impressively large sprite we just saw there. Obviously made up of lots of different sprites, combining to one big one there. But yeah, really, really good stuff. And we're just climbing up here, as always, avoiding the rats. Go a little bit quicker because they're moving up as well as us. We just need to escape from this cathedral or chapel or whatever, and here's the exit. Just a few screens to just get through here. Nothing too much to trouble us at all. There's a spider creatures again, which I don't really care about the coins. Let's just get it done. I think it should be next screen. Should be the door and ending there. There we go. Just escape through the door there. Hurrah! There you go. That is the first part done. And clave de accesso, the password is 141084. That went fairly quickly there. But yeah, clave de accesso is translates as password, of course. And that was 141084. And we'll load up part 2 now. There we go. So yeah, really good fun first part there. A little bit of puzzle solving with flicking of switches, collecting diamonds, placing the diamonds. That's about it really. But that was a fun little action game there. We'll of course have to redefine our keys here again. But first though, we'll enter the password by pressing 0, and that's 141084. I think you can still play this level without the password. I think you only get 1 life to do it in. And actually, you can actually beat this without losing a life, which is what we're going to do here. And this section will be familiar to many of you who know of some of the David Perry games. Let's kick this off. There you go. Now we've got a side-on action game. And look at it scrolling there. It's not single screen anymore. So yes, this might remind some of you of Savage from Dave Perry. A very well-regarded classic game there. Don't walk into the enemies. You can take damage from their... you can take only a small amount of damage from their sort of boomerangs they throw. But don't let them walk into you there, there's a warning. So what we're looking for there is trying to wait for a ball to spawn that's got sort of a green colour to it. If you look very closely, it actually has a little P on it. There's one there, and it's just falling to the left out of reach. Those are power-up balls. Oh yeah, change it to Crispin here for the jumping sections, because remember, Crispin is the only one that can latch onto ropes. Turn into Goliath there as we just land. And of course, he acts like a smart bomb, clearing the screen of all enemies from his... well, him landing on the ground and shaking it, it destroys all enemies. It's about the only time Goliath is really useful. There's one of the balls I'm looking for, the green P on it. Now we've got an upgraded weapon that throws 2 daggers at the same time. And you can upgrade it, I think, 2 more times on this level. Oh, there's a green P ball we just missed there. This is a bit daft what I was doing there, but we can use Goliath there to take out all the enemies in one go. Just remember that you are not able to move Goliath. He is rooted to the spot. There you go. So he's much more useful on this level than the first part. So on this second part, sorry, there are 4 levels, 4 separate levels, and they do change up. And this looks really, really nice and gorgeous as well. So, it's a different graphics artist, so Captain Thunder looks slightly bit different, as does Crispin and Goliath. Not by much, though. Oh, there we go, we reached the end of the level there. But that was really good fun. It's a side-scrolling, almost run-and-gun type game, and I like it, especially if you like Savage. Obviously, the sprites are not as big as Savage, and Savage is probably running either 50 frames per second or 25 frames per second. This is probably about, I don't know, at the lowest 17.5, probably higher. But the scrolling here is more than acceptable. And this is highly impressive. We've even got animated water at the bottom there, and we've got some like fish jumping in and out of the water, which actually cause you damage. So I guess, are they piranha? Do piranha jump out the water? I don't think they do actually. So there must be a different fish. Either way, you want to avoid these fish here if you can. So yeah, a lot of switching between characters on this level because of the jumps between rocks and stuff. Just watch out for those boomerangs the enemies chuck. I often have to play with my monitor's brightness right down, including the gamma, so I found it really hard to see the boomerangs here. I've just sort of turned it up for recording this, and I can actually see them quite clearly now. But they are a little bit hard, still a little bit hard to see. The boomerangs being chucked at you. And look at this, we've got like a mid-level boss, a giant man-eating plant, like something out of Little Shop of Horrors, like Audrey. There you go. That's cool. Nice little touch there. And we've still got more of the level to go through. We've still got more of the bitey fish as well attacking us. So again, at the top of the screen there, live counter, 3 lives next to the shield there. We've got the red bottle there, it says 40. That's our energy level. Started at 99, now down to 36. Next to that, the lightning bolt is the score. And to the right of that, the far right there, is the red ball, 3,500. That's how many of those balls you've collected after vanquishing an enemy. So you just went up there. I'm not actually sure what those balls do. I think if you collect enough of them on a level, when you reach the end, if you've got a certain amount, you might get a bonus life. I don't know if that's 5,000 or 9,999. I don't know. Personally, I don't want to stick around on the screen for too long, especially with the fish jumping out at you. Oh, that was another power-up ball we just grabbed, so we should now have a free-way shooting, like dagger thing, that spreads out a lot further, horizontally and vertically. At least the top and bottom daggers do. Ah, yes. So now I think our weapon is fully upgraded. Awesome. Just like in the first part. Energy. Talentos. I'm not sure what Talentos means. We do get some extra power. That's cool. Talentos might translate to either talent, abilities, or accomplishment. I think it's to do with collecting those blue and red balls from vanquished enemies. And look, we've got a slightly different looking section now. It looks like we're inside a dark cave now. And we've got green winged bats and these horrible blue creatures spitting fireballs at us, and which take a lot of hits to kill. So just be patient here. A lot of these platforms as well are very, very rickety and will collapse under you. Forgot to mention it on the previous 2 levels as well. Same thing there. There are platforms when you land on that will wobble and then disappear down below you. There's one. And there was plenty on the other level as well. It's often pays to be turning to crisping when you jump in. Also, you're able to do more precise jumps with the captain, so I think I've pretty much stayed with the captain throughout this level, actually. Like a 2-headed beast. There you go. Yeah. So just keep jumping. Don't stick around on platforms where there's nothing securing it below. There you go. Keep jumping to those sections there, and always keep moving forward. Don't worry about taking too many hits. If you're going to die on this level, you're going to die by falling to the pit below. Oh yes, we've got some, is it stalagmites or stalactites? I can never remember the falling from the ceiling there to watch out for. And I'm making it look easier than it is. It took a lot of practicing to get through this without losing a life. But you do actually get a fair amount of spare lives here anyway. You've got 3 lives to get through. And I think you get a continue as well, which is nice. So on this level, which is the final level, level 4 of this second part, you got a lot of these skulls that drop in and roll after you. And they can very quickly drain your energy. So we're already down to 87 health from 99. And then we get like these Donkey Kong type enemies. You'll have several of them on this level. Often it's just pick the right distance, keep ducked and keep firing. Or you can lure them to where you're at a safer point and more of an advantage over the giant ape there. So you'll see me use that in a little bit. This is actually a dead end I completely forgot about. You're going to need to go under. I'm losing lots of health there to that bloody skull. I'm taking some needless hits here. So quite bad run so far here. And I'm getting taking loads of hits here from Donkey Kong as well. But if you had your weapon upgraded before this level, then it shouldn't take too long to take out. So actually here we can take him out from distance. And thankfully we've got that weapon that sort of spreads out. It's fully powered up. So the bottom knife or dagger is hitting him on the head. And before long he's a goner. Awesome stuff. Okay. Time out of that skull. There we go. Ow. His health down to 17, so we're getting quite low now. Watch out, if he jump, he can land on top of you and squish you and kill you. So that was very, very close there. I'll just, yeah, here you can take the time to jump backwards. Now hopefully like lure him forward and you're in a much safer spot. There you go. Oops, although I did take a hit there. From wherever those white things are he's chucking at you. I don't know if it's like giant dandruff or something. Who knows? At least it's not barrels and, you know, end up getting sued by Nintendo or something. Ha! Well, we are very close to the end of the game now. I think there's... Oh no, my energy's right down to 7 now. I think there's one more monkey and ape to destroy. And that, if we can actually attack him off the screen there. So really, they're not too hard to destroy. Should be the final ape. Oh my god, my energy's on 1. And there's our girlfriend, Ingrid. And we have saved her. Enhorabuena, which means, it translates to congratulations. And there you go. That is the end of the game. So, yeah, well, of course, this was never released in the UK and also never had a French translation. However, I did find 2 French Amstrad magazines reviewing it, both from May 1990, so that's roughly when the game was released. There was Amstrad CPC magazine, which gave it 84%, and there was Amstrad and CPC magazine, who gave it 16 out of 20. I'm surprised it didn't score higher. But as for my score, I think this is a fantastic product. I love the changing between the characters mechanic, and it's done really, really nicely and dynamically in real time in the game. I love the graphics. I think you've got 2 different types of gameplay here as well, and to keep you interested. And I think it's a brilliant all-round little package, and it's a shame that he never got translated to French and English, and perhaps renamed to Captain Thunder and released by Ocean. I mean, Ocean did release a lot of dynamic products. So, as my final review score, I'm going to give this a really solid 9 out of 10. And what I'd like to know in the comments, guys and girls, is if you know of any other better Spanish games that was released in the commercial era. Obviously, there's a lot of homebrew releases in the last few years from talented coders in Spain. I'm well aware of them. But I want to know the games that were sold back in shops back in the day in Spain that you think are as good, if not better, than Capitan Trueno here. Anyway, thank you very, very much for watching, and I'll see you all again very soon. Goodbye.
So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please click a like below, leave a comment, and also subscribe if you haven't already. And over that way, there's another video for you to check out. Zypho, out.